I'm William Broder. I'm one of the employees here at Old Fourth Distillery.
And I am Craig Moore. I am one of the founders and owners of Old Fourth Distillery.
Gin, kind of the way we look at it, is the world's first flavored vodka. So we start with a base neutral spirit that we do from wheat. Distill that to neutrality, 190 proof or 95%. And then we'll actually put it back in the still and vapor infuse our recipe, which has quite a bit of juniper berries, some cardamom, coriander, a few other things, and some fresh citrus. And we have our little gin head just above it, which we fill with our ingredients, vaporize the spirit. It's like a really intense tea maceration where that vapor kind of works through and sucks out that gin flavor. The pot on the far side is actually filled with our spirit. Just above that is our gin head, which has our satchel of ingredients. The spirit in the pot is being heated. We hit that 170, 180 mark, that sweet spot right where alcohol starts to boil. And that alcohol will actually start to vaporize in the pot, move up through the gin head where it kind of exposes to that satchel of ingredients. And it actually has a pipe up top that comes straight across and then comes into the bottom of that first column, where that vapor will kind of travel through down into column one. As it gets into the column, it'll actually raise to the top and hit a cooling element right at the top, that top section, and recondense and trickle down as a liquid and move back into the pot, and it'll actually kind of do this circular motion that we call reflux, which happens rather quickly for our gin infusion. And then as it gets to a certain strength or a certain proof, it'll actually move from that first column, and there's a pipe that comes straight across in the back into our condenser, and that that gin flavored vapor will then recondense in our condenser and spitting out as liquid, really strong, really powerful gin. Rather slowly, and we're here for about 8 hours a day watching our spirit collect.
We actually have a really good relationship with Oakland Cemetery, and in fact the last distiller to close his doors back in 1906 was the R.M. Rose Company, R.M. Rose. He's buried over in the Oakland Cemetery. We went over there to check it out, and we noticed that there were all these great juniper bushes growing near his grave. And we thought it would be an interesting idea to do a fresh juniper berry maceration. What we use to vapor infuse juniper into our spirit are your typical dried juniper berries, right? So we use that because as they dry, those oils that are inside the berry really get released, and that makes it available for you to vapor infuse. We thought we would sort of take it to the next level and take freshly picked juniper berries and soak those berries in the finished spirit to give the gin a little bit of a fresh juniper flavor as well. Juniper berries being the number one ingredient. That is the only ingredient that you have to use to legally call gin. One of the things that we wanted to do was put forth more citrus notes. Gin is enjoying a strong resurgence in the United States right now, and one of the reasons for that is the variety of gins that you can get. The craft distillation boom is creating a lot of variety and just bringing forth a lot of creativity. So we took all of 2015 to develop our gin recipe, where we would make 4 gins. We would take it out into the market, talk with bartenders, mixologists, gin enthusiasts, just anyone who had a palate for gin. We would sort of develop a consensus winner and a consensus sort of feedback on that gin. And then we'd come back and we would make 4 more and then take those 4 out into the market. And over time, we were able to develop a recipe that we felt was both unique, but also still conveyed, the true spirit of what gin is.
Handcrafted fine Southern spirit, that's what we call it.
We're the first distillery in the city of Atlanta since 1906. So we started with vodka and just distilled it until we finally got to 190. And then gin was really a passion. We thought, hey, we've got a cool space in a cool neighborhood. We've got an opportunity to bring Atlanta something it hasn't had in over, at that point, 105 years. So we thought it a good business opportunity, but just a fun thing to do for the city that we love.